How far can a 39-year-old man push the limits of human history? And what happens when the greatest player to ever live refuses to hand over his crown to the most terrifying striker of the new generation? 8 goals each, a golden trophy sitting on a knife's edge, and an Opta supercomputer that predicts total chaos. You are watching Total Football Nexus. Welcome to the 2026 FIFA World Cup Golden Boot Race, an absolute tactical war zone that has officially turned North America into the colosseum of modern football. We are down to the quarterfinals, and what we are witnessing is not the typical cagey defensive cage matches of the past. No, this is the era of the super strikers. This is a mathematical, high-stakes thriller where one single misstep changes football history forever. But while the entire world is staring at the raw goal counts, the real story, the hidden patterns determining who walks away with the ultimate individual prize, is buried deep in the tactical blueprints and advanced data. Let us begin with the man who refuses to let time dictate his destiny, Lionel Messi. At 39 years old, he isn't just participating, he is actively rewriting the record books. Think about the opening match against Algeria in Group J, a dominant 3-0 victory where Messi did something he had never done in his entire legendary World Cup career. He scored a hat trick. By doing so, he shattered Cristiano Ronaldo's record to become the oldest player ever to score a World Cup hat trick at 38 years and 357 days old. Did you ever think we would see Messi breaking physical records at this stage of his career? The defining moment of that night came in the 79th minute. Rodrigo de Paul floated a brilliant cross from the right flank, and Messi, defying gravity and age, connected with a flying downward volley so pure, FIFA officially labeled it as out of this world. But how is a 39-year-old sustaining this level of lethal output at the highest level of sports? The answer lies in the tactical genius of Lionel Scaloni. Knowing Messi's physical limitations, Scaloni designed a fluid 4-3-3 formation that seamlessly morphs into a defensive 4-4-2 diamond without the ball. The trick is simple but brutal. Rodrigo de Paul and Nahuel Molina take on double defensive duties on the right wing, completely absorbing the physical toll of tracking back. This frees Messi. It allows him to wander like a ghost in the central zones, completely unbothered, waiting right outside the 6-yard width of the opposition's defense. When the ball arrives, he is fresh, lethal, and perfectly positioned to change the entire game in a split second. This tactical freedom sparked an absolute avalanche. Against Austria in the group stage, Messi scored a magnificent brace, a moment that officially broke Miroslav Klose's historic record of 16 all-time World Cup goals. Then came Jordan, where he came off the bench to score a trademark physics-defying free kick. By the time Argentina survived a chaotic 3-2 war against Cape Verde in the round of 32, Messi was already sitting on 7 goals. But nothing, absolutely nothing, compares to the psychological drama of the round of 16 against Egypt. It was a match that will be studied for decades. Halftime arrived and Argentina was in total ruins, down 2-0. To make matters worse, Messi had actually missed a crucial penalty in the first half. How many of you thought that Argentina's World Cup journey was over right then? The world thought the dream was dead. But this Argentina squad operates on pure defiance. In a wild 4-minute blitz in the second half, Cristian Romero and Lionel Messi struck back-to-back, leveling the game and shocking Egypt to their core. Then, deep into stoppage time, in the 92nd minute, Enzo Fernandez fired home the winner to send Argentina to the quarterfinals. With that goal, Messi became the first player in history to score in 6 consecutive World Cup knockout matches. Yet the football gods love irony. In this very same tournament, Messi has missed 2 penalties, giving him an unwanted record for the most penalties missed in a single World Cup edition outside of penalty shootouts. But while Messi relies on timeless wizardry, his greatest rival in this race relies on pure, unadulterated velocity and violence. Enter Kylian Mbappe. The The French captain enters every single World Cup with one clear objective: complete and total domination of the Golden Boot. France just booked their spot in the semifinals by systematically dismantling Morocco 2-0. And even though Mbappe missed a first-half penalty, his response was terrifyingly clinical. In the 60th minute, Desiree Dou delivered a sharp assist, and Mbappe, with zero hesitation, cut inside and unleashed a vicious curling effort that left Yassine Bounou completely stranded. That strike brought him to 8 goals, dead even with Messi. But here is where the plot thickens, and where Opta's data analytics reveals a massive hidden advantage for the Frenchman. If the tournament ends today with both players tied in goals, the Golden Boot does not get shared. It goes to the tiebreaker, assists. And right now, Mbappe is leading the race with 3 assists compared to Messi's lone single assist. Mbappe's campaign in North America is a historic demolition derby of records. He has played exactly 20 World Cup matches and scored 20 World Cup goals, making him the fastest human being to ever hit that milestone. He's also become the first player in French history to reach 100 direct goal contributions for the national team, boasting 64 goals and 36 assists. And when the pressure reaches its absolute boiling point in the knockouts, Mbappe transforms. With 12 goals in World Cup knockout history, he has officially bypassed legends like Pelé and Ronaldo Nazario. His path to 8 goals has been an absolute clinic. Braces against Senegal and Iraq, a masterclass performance against Sweden, and a cold-blooded penalty against a hyper-aggressive Paraguay side. Mbappe looks unstoppable. But just when you think this is a two-horse race between the titans of the game, a 25-year-old human cyborg from Manchester City enters the frame. Erling Haaland, playing in his very first World Cup, has pushed Norway into the quarterfinals, an achievement that feels entirely fictional. Norway is a modest footballing nation, but Haaland has transformed them into a lethal machine through pure, terrifying efficiency. If you want to know how absurd Haaland has been, you only need to look at one specific metric: shot conversion rate. Haaland has taken a total of 18 shots in this entire tournament. He has scored 7 goals. That is a staggering 39% shot conversion rate. To put that into historical perspective, we haven't seen a striker this ruthlessly clinical since Gary Lineker back in 1986. Haaland doesn't need the ball. He doesn't need to build the play. He just needs one fraction of a second. We saw it against Iraq when he turned David Moller-Wolf's cross into a simple tap-in, and we saw it against Senegal with a thunderous volley on a lightning-fast counterattack. After saving Norway with an 86th-minute winner against Ivory Coast, Haaland line-dropped a legendary performance against Brazil in the round of 16. Facing Gabriel Magalhaes, he physically overpowered the defense to score a bullet header in the 79th minute before sealing a dramatic 2-1 victory with a ferocious curling strike from outside the box that sent the Selecao packing. Do you think Haaland can genuinely carry this underdog Norway side all the way to the final? And waiting for Haaland in the quarterfinals is a fellow Premier League titan who is having an equally monstrous tournament, Harry Kane. Fresh off an unbelievable 61-goal season with Bayern Munich, the England captain is sitting right behind the leaders with 6 goals. But Kane's genius is entirely different. He doesn't just wait in the box. He constantly drops deep into midfield, dragging center backs out of position and creating massive gaps for Jude Bellingham and Bukayo Saka. We saw this exact tactical mastery in England's breathless 3-2 win over Mexico, where Kane scored a clinical penalty and then provided a brilliant assist for Bellingham. Kane's ultimate weapon in this World Cup, however, has been his absolute aerial supremacy. Out of his 6 goals, 3 have come directly from his head. This brings his all-time World Cup headed goal tally to 4, putting him in elite company, right behind Gerd Müller and Miroslav Klose. When DR Congo shocked England by taking an early lead, it was Kane's aerial dominance and tactical intelligence that produced a dramatic second-half brace to rescue a 2-1 victory. Now, England and Norway are set to collide in Miami, creating a literal direct elimination match for the Golden Boot between Kane and Haaland.
When you look closely at how these goals are being scored, you realize that hat tricks have become an incredibly rare commodity due to highly organized defensive structures. Yet, this tournament has given us 3 distinct tactical masterclasses in single matches. If we compare Messi's hat trick against Algeria to Ousmane Dembele's explosive hat trick against Norway, the data reveals a fascinating contrast. Messi took 5 shots, putting 4 on target, with an expected goals value of just 0.68. This proves his finishing was purely supernatural, scoring from highly difficult angles. Dembele, on the other hand, operated within France's high pressing system, generating an expected goals value of 1.12 from 6 shots, utilizing his blistering pace to capitalize on diagonal switches. Meanwhile, Canada's Jonathan David managed a highly economical hat trick against Qatar, ruthlessly exploiting a 2-man advantage after Qatar received 2 red cards. This historic tournament is completely turning the all-time World Cup goal-scoring charts upside down. Miroslav Klose's long-standing record of 16 goals has officially been shattered. Lionel Messi now sits alone at the absolute top of human history with 21 World Cup goals in 29 matches. Right behind him, breathing down his neck, is Mbappe with an astonishing 20 goals in just 20 matches. Harry Kane has also entered the top 5, tying Gerd Muller with 14 goals. Who do you think will hold the ultimate record for the most World Cup goals when this tournament finally concludes? So, what does the Opta supercomputer predict for the final act of this epic drama? Looking at the structural depth and tactical consistency, France is currently rated as the absolute favorite to lift the trophy, with a 37.5% probability. Didier Deschamps has turned Les Bleus into a ruthless machine, becoming the first team to reach 3 consecutive World Cup semifinals. According to the data, England holds a 52.1% advantage over Norway's 47.9% in their upcoming quarterfinal, meaning Harry Kane has a mathematically higher probability of playing more games than Haaland to chase the Golden Boot. Meanwhile, Argentina faces a steep hill with only a 16.1% overall chance to win the tournament, meaning Messi will need to completely dismantle Switzerland's low block in Kansas City to maintain his lead at the top. What this data ultimately proves is a massive paradigm shift in modern football. The age of taking 20 shots a game to win the Golden Boot is dead. Strikers are focusing heavily on shot selection quality and immediate, low-touch, clinical finishing inside the box. Furthermore, the extreme fatigue of this expanded tournament has made squad depth the ultimate deciding factor. Teams like Senegal, DR Congo, and Cape Verde all collapsed in the final minutes of their knockout matches simply because elite European and South American giants can introduce fresh legs from the bench to control the tempo. The stage is set for a historic finish. Who is your absolute favorite to take home the Golden Boot this year? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you loved this deep tactical breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, share this video with your fellow football fans, and hit that subscribe button with notifications turned on so you never miss another masterpiece here on Total Football Nexus. See you in the next video.